What's going on, y'all? Big Ange here. And yesterday was Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, all the mothers that got to play the role of a father, all the single fathers out there, all the father figures, all the people who step in and play that fatherly role. I was fortunate enough to grow up with my father. I know not everybody has that luxury or has lost theirs and might just not even be in communication with them. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to still have them after all these years. Yesterday was interesting because I didn't really get to spend Father's Day with my kids, not for a bad reason, but I had to play I play an interesting role, the father and the son. As a father, it's amazing and beautiful to see my kids grow up and just the relationship and connection we have and how they depend on you and just how they pick up your habits and nuances. And my eldest could read me like a book. It's scary. It's scary at times. She grew up pretty quick, but she could read me really well. And I was trying to see. I got to a point in the day, I was kind of feeling off, but because kids weren't around, and me and the mother are together, so again, it's no malice, no nothing negative about it at all. It's just how the day scheduled out. And again, I was a son first, and that ain't even on no negative stuff. You might have your own opinions about, well, you're a father, you should be with the kids, but again, I was a son first, and my role as a son and as a father is a caretaker. And my dad has Parkinson's, and he's had it since 2017 or so. So over the last, maybe longer than 2017. I can't even remember the exact date for quite a long time. Life has changed for my family dramatically. And I gave up. I don't want to say I gave up and sacrificed, but I put a lot of years of my life into caring for him in like pivotal years. I distanced myself from friends. I could say I distanced myself from family, but I wouldn't even feel that's 1,000% the case. It was more along the lines of like, I didn't really get that backup, that assistance that I necessarily had hoped for or had expected, considering his sickness. I remember the day I found out, I hit up my homies like, hey, yo, I'm not gonna be around as much just because I gotta take care of my dad. And that was years ago. So, and it still has been the case, but with it, I managed to. That was around the same time I had quit my full-time job, and with it, it was something that was a blessing in disguise, because I really got the opportunity to get to spend time with him more and know him more. He wasn't just running errands for me, or I really understood what it took and what the role of a caretaker was, where I genuinely take care of another human being for a living. I'm in the hospital at the doctor's as a lifestyle, and a lot of people can relate, but I know guaranteed most of the people that I know or connect with or have relationship with, they don't relate. And it wasn't until recently I became a father where that role kind of shifted, and I got to a point where I have to fulfill my destiny, fulfill my dreams, and it was kind of numbing in in a sense of seeing someone who was not as mobile. It was just a lot of big mental process and a lot of stuff I still try and go through and try and cope with in seeing the difference, right? If you've seen someone your entire life and you know them to be this person, and then it feels like overnight the whole world changes about them. You know what I mean? It's tough to see and it's tough to endure. And selfishly, I was looking at it as just myself for some times, or there are days, the days that are tougher are when I selfishly look at it as myself versus look at it from a perspective of, you know, this is impacting not just myself but everybody, and you know, everybody that's around, you know, my moms and myself. That's the two people that is impacted the most. And you know, I had always wished I had gotten more help, but I've never been the type of person to ask for help, because I always felt as if I go out of my way to help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will see something and put myself in the middle of it. You know, like that whole little old lady trying to cross the street syndrome, where you can't help everybody, but you can help anybody, you know. And I don't see a reason why you shouldn't try and help anybody, to the best of your degree, and especially when it's your own family, or when it's someone that means something to you, just because they mean something to you, you know. But seeing myself as a father now, I understand what it means, and what it means to pour into your kids, and the lessons and blessings that you have to instill into them. And you know, I was trying to go through to myself, like, what's the difference between really being a father and being a son? And for me personally, like, I think how I was looking at it was from a task, or a things that I might technically be obligated to do. You know, I think because I love, I feel as if these things are obligations to do, in a sense, but not even in a bad way. It's like, I'm honored to be the reason that he eats, or lifts, or is able to get from point A to point B, or walk, and things along those lines. But like, I have a 2-year-old, and oddly enough, a lot of the things that I deal with her, I gotta deal with him, and that's a 73-year difference. You know what I mean? So it's like, people was viewing it as like, you know, people who matter to me, who was viewing it as like, you know, you had it easy back then, but it wasn't easy. It's not easy watching, you know, someone you love not be the same person that you can recall, or the person at their peak, per se, right? But you know, I value the experience nonetheless. You know, his memory is crazy as all hell. You know, he remembering stuff that is 60 years. He can remember all points between the last 70 years, and that's remarkable, truly. So really the difference is, like, it's not much of a difference. But in a good way. And I think yesterday, what I was feeling like, or what I feel like when it's in a bad day, or on, like, you know, negative days, it's like it's not a difference, but in a negative way. You know what I mean? Like, to be 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, giving care to a person, when your friends could be out smoking, drinking, hanging, traveling, relaxing, whatever, you know what I mean? but you trying to figure out if this person is gonna be okay tomorrow, or you have to live on a routine for the other person's lifestyle. And it's a blessing, but it's not what you felt like your purpose was. And I think it's a blessing because it helps you understand what your purpose is. It helps me to understand how much I need to help him. Being a father helps me understand that, you know, the best way to help is starting with the young. You know, starting with children, because it's so important for children to be nurtured properly. It's so important for children to feel like they're cared for, to teach them the lessons that you never had the opportunity of learning, or that you learned late. You know, my eldest, I'm teaching her about money. I'm teaching her about grinding. I'm teaching her about hustling. I'm teaching her about all the things that it took me years to even grasp the concept of it. Or, you know, time doesn't equal money, right? So I'm a strong believer in that, and it's a fact. Fact check it. Look who the richest in the world are. Look who the wealthiest in the world are, because rich ain't shit. Rich is nothing. You know what I mean? But truly, the difference between the father and the son is just being the father and the son is really like, the only difference is one you watch grow, the other watch you grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching my baby girl grow, and my dad watched me grow. You know what I mean? So it's really the difference for me personally, just knowing to the level and extent that I actually care for my family members, is actually just watching them grow, and how I watch them grow. Because, you know, I really do I try and pour my heart into them, as well as my dreams, as well as my passion. And, you know, sometimes you get to a point where you're off balance just because it's a lot, you know. And shout out to Nipsey Hussle, but where he said something along the lines of, when it starts feeling like it's a lot, that's how it's supposed to feel. And that's you know, you're pushing yourself, you're testing yourself. And if it doesn't feel like a lot, then you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? Like, the issue is, I think the surface issue is finance. You know, when you have finance as one of the things you worry about, or one of the things you concern yourself about, it takes so long. It's tough. It's all hell for you to focus on the things that really matter to you, and being able to pour into yourself in a way that can allow other people to feel fulfilled, joy, and peace. Like, there's three feelings I always want. There are three feelings that I strive for, and then there's three feelings that I strive for, and am dedicating my life to pour into other people, and that's fulfillment, joy, and peace. And you might not understand or grasp what they are, but I suggest searching up the definitions of them. I live by it, where it's, if there's three feelings that you could feel every day for the rest of your life, to me, I would say it's to feel fulfilled, that everything that my life has a purpose, and that every day that you're on this earth is to accomplish something greater than yourself, that can help a lot of people, that results in a lot of people's happiness or joy. And so when you bring down the joy, it's along the lines of doing something that just makes you feel alive. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's always been music and performance, and you could say that there's a lack of it, but as I put in my recent video, It's a win with love. And I don't think anybody loves it as much as I do. And it's about being, for me, I think I had to just take a different path, to be able to even make this video, to have this perspective. If I poured less into taking care of my dad and my children, I wouldn't feel the way that I feel now, where I know with my passion, if you're in my way, you're getting squashed. You know what I mean? And that's with love. I will dominate musically and dominate performance-wise, and I will work harder than anybody to get to the point that is my reality. You know what I mean? So I think that's a part of wanting to be great. And like, I just love it so much, where I just want my visions to come to fruition, and I'm working effortlessly I'm working diligently rather to create those visions, but it doesn't happen overnight. So again, I think joy is just living. It's the thing that is natural to you. Music comes naturally to me. I haven't touched a song in however long of a time, but I can write like that and make it sound phenomenal. You know what I mean? And so that's living in your joy. And I just love to dance and perform and just be on stage and stuff like that, But then the third one is peace. And I think what we're all trying to achieve and get to is a place of peace. Peace is more than just, peace is tranquility. And when you pass, you say that's when you at rest, that's when you at peace. But knowing that you have a bill to pay doesn't bring you to peace. Knowing that you're obligated to be in a position that isn't for your greatest good, that's when you know you're not at peace. And I think we all just trying to reach a level of peace. So I think ultimately what we're all trying to reach is peace. So I think they all just connect to each other, like a triforce of some effect, where we want to feel fulfilled, we want to feel joy, and we want to feel peace. So I pray and ask that everybody is able to attain it. I'm going to do my best to go ahead and obtain it and put myself in a position to transmit and open as many doors possible, in order for not just my loved ones, but people of this world and beyond this world, this universe, are able to experience all those feelings. So that's just a message and word from Ange. I was thinking to myself this morning, like, I'm very opinionated, and I was trying to think, like, where's the best place for me to put my thoughts? And there's Instagram, but I don't really connect with Instagram like that. But I'm like, what platform is yours? There's no bigger platform than your YouTube channel. So I said, I'm definitely going to be trying to post a lot more of these on here. And yo, I'm just sending love to Ange. It's your boy Ange. All right, take care. Have a great week. Write your affirmations, pray, and win.